A few years ago, I became interested in a question, which was, how much land do I use? I was living in a small flat in London at the time. The question wasn't, how big is my house? It's, if I thought about the food that I eat, the materials that I use, the clothes that I wear, the things that I buy, the energy I use, how much land does that take? And it turned out to be a very difficult question to answer. The estimates were something like an acre, and some of that is land that gets used up. So, you know, the iconic images of rainforests being cut down and destroyed to be turned into farmland that then becomes wasteland. And some which is managed better. I find that whole investigation of that is quite difficult. It can be quite depressing to try and uncover and unpick what are the supply chains that take you from casually buying something in a supermarket to land use somewhere else. I then discovered this concept of rewilding, this idea that there was the other side of this. There's a way of bringing life back to land rather than taking from it and turning it into commodities for us to use. And this idea was really powerful, the idea that we could be a force for good, that we can bring life back, habitats back. But it still felt quite remote. It was often done by landowners who happen to have a few hundred acres. You hear a lot of talk about it, but actually there's very few rewilding projects happening in the UK. It's unlikely there is one right next to you. So I wanted to create something that helped people be part of that community. It used to be that we were part of communities where we would see the land that was being used. We would see the food that was being created for us, the materials that were being made for us. And it was very tangible, and we've lost that sense of tangibility. So how can we make rewilding tangible? That sense that we can bring things back and make ourselves part of that community. So the way that I've done it is I take, say, an acre of land, I divide it up into 3 word tiles, so 3 meters by 3 meters. And then anyone, a person, a business, a community can subscribe to a tile and visually see and be part of that land coming back to life. So I can show you what happens once life starts to return, the interventions, the things that we do to try and bring that land back to life, and how we try and restore these natural processes. That means that year by year we are adding on layer and layer of life that is bringing richness back into our world. So I'd love you to come and be part of that. Choose your own tile and be part of bringing life back to land.